All right, so we're gonna get this video started off here. These bulbs just arrived. These are the 3157 amber lights here. Look at all those little LED lights around the outside of that bulb there. Those are gonna be the turns. And these are the 881s. These normally go for like fog light bulbs here. And so these are gonna be replacing the stock incandescent bulbs in the headlights. I'll put a link to both of these in the description below if you're interested. This is the new LED bulb, much brighter than before. Throws out a lot of light. Stock incandescent bulb on the left versus LED on the right. These are so much brighter. If you're curious, the stock harness fits the bulb perfectly. The bulb fits the socket perfectly as well. This is what the new LED light looks like inside. So we have the incandescent on the left and the LED bulb on the right. I like this a bright white color, and I like this got a lot more a light being distributed throughout the lens instead of like the old incandescent to the left there. So one of the things I'm gonna replace on this cart here is the horn, because it's loud, but it just don't cut it. All right, so what we have here, I'm gonna replace that with a Horn Tech ATR operated, not air operated, ATR operated horn. I put one of these on Walking Tall, and I like it. Basically, it comes with a relay. It comes with the horn. You got some mounting brackets, and it has a compressor all into one. So it does not need an air tank. It basically, once you hit the switch on the dash, it operates the compressor here. I'll pull this out in just a minute and show you. And then it automatically blows through the trumpet here on that inlet there. And that's all it is. Now the stock horn is here, and it's got that blue and the black wire there. We're gonna need to use those blue and black wires for the trigger on the relay that we're gonna install with the horns. So I was thinking about mounting the horns like up here, over here somewhere. I mean, I could even mount it sideways if we needed to, or, you know, put it down here somewhere. It really doesn't matter. We just don't want it to interfere with anything, any moving parts or anything. But I'm gonna get this right here mounted and pick you back up. So if you buy one of these horns here, it comes with a relay. Y'all know I like to use relays on everything. The wiring instructions are pretty simple as well. We'll go everything here real quick. So basically red is gonna go to the power. On our case, we have the 12-volt distribution block up front. The blue and the white wires is gonna go to the original horn wire. The black ground wire here, leaving the horn, is gonna go to the negative portion distribution block on the front of the cart. There's gonna be a yellow wire that's gonna go from the compressor to the relay. And then on side the red there is gonna be a fusible link with a fuse that's included as well. So very simple here in case you're putting this on a golf cart that already has a horn on it. And it includes everything in the kit. So we're gonna go ahead and get this right here started as well. So the horn was mounted this thick piece of plastic here. I'm gonna remove the horn, and this is gonna be the compressor mount and probably the relay mount as well. All right, went ahead and got the compressor mounted right here. Got a relay mounted, that's to the same bracket that the horn was on. Ran my wire over. Ground's going over here, 12 volts going over here. I have the horn mounted on the lower portion of the dash there, and it's mounted, everything's ran. There's no kinks in the hose. There was a kink to begin with, so I went ahead and took the compressor and turned it sideways. So that's about the best I can do there, I reckon, with what I have to work with. But it's gonna sound the part to how the cart looks, I should say, so that little beep beep we had. If you watched my last video to the very end, I told you I was gonna get something that I hope I didn't get caught with or get in trouble with. Well, this is it. This right here, I'm gonna open it up and show you what it is. You can't tell by the name on the outside. I wanted to open up on camera and show you guys what it is. There's the wiring for it. This is one box here. CARRYALL. That's an electronic siren. It's kind of like a multi-function siren. Okay, got some tools, got some more wires, just a little amplifier, that's it. You got a harness on there, it's got a fuse on there as well. This is the PA speaker, and I didn't think it was gonna be this heavy. I thought it was gonna be kind of chimpy, but this right here has got some weight to it. I'd say probably 10 to 12 pounds just on this right here speaker. This is the controller, so it's got all kind of functions here. Okay, I think you can turn lights on and off with these two functions. It's got, well, all kind of things. And if you're a fireman or EMS or police officer, you probably know what a lot of these are. It also has a push to talk button, so it's got like a PA speaker where I can talk to people outside of the vehicle. But the last utility cart I had an LED light bar on it, and well, I had it set up with some different flashes, is all I'm gonna say. And anyways, I've always thought that, you know, that kind of stuff was cool, especially like maybe being like a volunteer fireman. I never have been one of those though, but I guess I'm kind of reliving the days I never did live by getting some of these toys. But anyways, I know I can get in a lot of trouble with this kind of stuff, especially if I'm on the highway and I start hitting these switches and stuff. But I just wanted to have something, you know, around the house, my buddies, you know, messing with people and stuff like that. And that's why I got this right here. So the instructions are pretty simple. Red is 12 volt positive, black is 12 volt negative, green speaker. So the speaker has two different green wires on the back of it, I think. Golly, that thing's heavy, yep. Two different green lights there. And then you have light 1 is yellow, light 2 is blue. So we can turn two different, you know, lights on with this as well if we wanted to. And that's the wiring harness there, which is pretty cool. So let's just say we get, I don't know, some LED lights or whatever for this, you know, and we can actually turn those on with this right here unit and not have to add more switches on the dash. I like that. I do like that a lot. I don't know what this is. The bottom of it's magnet. It's a magnetic base. It's got like a little split up here at the top. Not sure. I looked on the packing list here to see if it mentioned anything what this was, and it didn't. And this just looks kind of like a butt plug, so I'm not putting this on my cart. I don't know what that is. So I did not want to drill down into this aluminum because it goes down to where your feet are underneath. However, that's a solid surface to mount that speaker. All right, got the control box mounted high as I could back in the dash. The only problem with this is using those screws that come with it. Goes to the bottom of the dash. I don't like the way that looks. So when it's all said and done, I need to come back in here with like a zip wheel and cut these right here off. All right, just got the speaker mounted. Still need to heat these and wire tie everything. Wire tie this right here stuff up. Got the box in. This is the remote. The main power switch here. Turns everything on and off so you can't accidentally hit it. Turn it on. And well, now you can change the tones by the convert button. So a lot of people don't show that, but let's say you hold the convert button down in the middle and then you just keep hitting the tones. So wherever you like it, it'll stay on that tone. So these right here are kind of momentary as well. These are not momentary, they're completely on. And you can change all 4 of these as well. Then you got, let's say, light 1, light 2. You can turn things on or off. So this is pretty neat. It comes with an extension of this cable here, but I don't think I'm gonna use it. I think I'm gonna just pop a hole directly back here, run the cable up, mount this right here on the dash so we can gain access to it. Okay, so you cannot turn the lights on or off if this right here unit is off. I was thinking maybe it had a pass through, but it does not. But there you go. Let's see if it'll stay on the lights. Okay, we just turned the unit off and we left the lights on and it just reset itself, so the lights are back off. Okay, so that's that. That's what I hope I don't get in trouble with. So as I was editing the video, I didn't film, or either I lost the video of where I mounted the remote. So the remote has this little bracket, and you have like a coiled cable here. And there was a hole right here up underneath the steering column. So I just took the coil, opened it up a little bit, ran it into there, put it right here so I can access it. You know, I can pull it back about 3 or 4 feet. I really just leave it right here. I can turn things, you know, Siren and everything on through here if I wanted to, or I can use it through, you know, picking it up or whatever. So here you go, like, and one of my favorites. So anyways, that's what that is. So you have to hold the red button down to power it on or to power it off, but that's where I mounted a remote. I forgot to film that or whatever. So this right here is a ignition system with a key switch and 2 keys. This is for an ATV. And these are the same kind of that I like to use in some of my carts. And it's got a good sound to it. It's got a good click. The only thing is it only comes with one of these rubber boots here and the key, or 2 keys and 1 rubber boot. But these seem to be very nice switches. I'm using this right here in the dash for my on and off. Now, if you plan to use, you know, this right here style connector and key switch, 2 of these wires will have continuity when the key is off, and 2 of these wires will have continuity when the key is on. This is what I've been using. I've had some spare keys, I've tried it, nothing works. That's been my key for a long time there. All right, so this is the stereo system I need to install into the cart. Basically, it's the Valex radio. I did a review video dedicated just to this radio not too long ago. When I got it, I had an idea of putting this in this cart. I like the fact that it's marine radio, it's Bluetooth, it's got a color display. I like the fact that it's got a rotary knob. My plan to begin with was to mount this in the glove box because this radio has a wireless remote that comes with it that you recharge it like once a year, and it's waterproof and it's got a little mount and everything on it. I was just gonna use that on the dash. Well, I think things have changed. I think I'm just gonna mount this right here onto the main bezel as well. I have 4 marine, just Boss, just your basic marine speakers here, 6.5s. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use all 4 or not, might just use 2. And I got some of these buckets as well. I got 4 of them just in case we use them. I was planning on mounting all 4 underneath the roof. And then I was thinking, well, I might just mount 2 underneath the dash. I don't know. So still not, you know, 100% decided where everything's gonna go just yet. But this is the main panel. I went ahead and took all the switches and the gauge and everything out. Went ahead and opened up the switch hole here for the ATV switch to go in. Thinking about taking this right here switch and moving it over here and putting the radio dead center if we can, or as much dead center as possible. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Just gonna leave these other 2 switches where they're at. Now I went ahead and I bought new switches. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use them or not. I'm probably gonna leave this right here gauge open for a lithium gauge. When I got the cart originally, it had a crack, and you can see that crack in there. So I tried to plastic weld it from the rear. So far it seems to be holding up, except I burnt through the outside, so not exactly sure. But this right here plastic is like those Power Wheel cars that you know the kids have. Once they've been left out in the sun, it gets real rough. I'm not sure. I might Raptor line this right here, not plastic. I might Raptor line this. I'm not exactly sure just yet. But if I can hide some of this right here, I will. But that's what's going on here. I could probably fit the radio right here, but I think the top portion be coming off the right. I don't want that. You might be able to get the radio down here, but then that's a lip there, and that's a lip there. That's just, I don't want that either. I was looking in the glove box. Problem is with the glove box, at the very back of it, the glove box tapers down, so it gets tighter and tighter, so the radio's not gonna work back there either. So I'm thinking the best spot is gonna be on the dash bezel. I'm gonna first start off and say that this radio does not fit a 3-inch hole. It does not fit a 3.1-inch hole, but it does fit a 3.2-inch hole. So I went ahead and got on my laser and my small laser and cut some templates out. Number one, I wanted to see, I did a rough estimate here. I think it is 4.5 wide, 4 1/4 tall. I think that's what it is. Went ahead and cut a piece of wood out. Number one, I wanted something to draw. I wanted to draw a circle. Number two is I wanted to make sure that, you know, my template would fit where I want to put it at, and that's why I cut one of these out. And this is basically what the radio's gonna look like. I got top, bottom, left, right there. And we should have room over here to put a switch. All right, got the radio installed. Templates make a world of a difference. I didn't want to just stab at it, guess at it. It's not 100% centered in the panel. It was hard to do with the key switch. It's got that raised portion on it there. You know, for a golf cart though, and for what I got, I think it's okay. This is what the back looks like. So I didn't cut too much, just cut enough. Now this is the coupon that came out of it. After I cut it out, I started in here, went over. I could take this right here and use this as a template as well, put on a panel over here, and I just might do that. The switch mark, so now when I cut it, I know I'm gonna have to go to the outside of the black line there. I can't really, you know, veer off too much when I do that, so here goes nothing. All right, got it cut. Let's try it. See if we're good or if I overcut, which I'm known to overcut some things. It's got like this gasket on here as well. Okay. I'd say that was pretty good if I say so myself. We missed that notch. I hope there's nothing in the way there. If there is, which it looks like there might be, we're gonna have to clearance that as well after looking at it. It's in place, it's going halfway in, but there's a little bit right there that we're gonna have to clearance, which I'm okay with just that much. And it's just hitting right there. I snapped it back in place up top. I went to try to get it up and I broke that little joint again. So this is brittle. I'll need to get a flathead, put it in there to get that out. I need to clearance this little bit here. Make sure she fits before we go on to the next step. All right, dash is in, switch is in, radio's in. Everything is back in. Kind of thinking, should I take the radio and over the hole out just a little bit and scoot it over? Because I mean, we have gap on one side, no gap on the other side. Well, the radio was off-centered of the panel to begin with. Went ahead and scooted over 1/4 inch. Less gap here, more gap here. This line was where it was at, so it came over about 1/4 inch. I'm happy with that. I'm not gonna move it. I'm not gonna adjust it anymore. This is one of the thoughts I was having where I wanted to put the speakers at. What I'm thinking now is if I did this, come in here and Cut a flat line across the top so we can go up further. This side here, that kind of scares me a little bit. There's just nowhere to put speakers at on this cart. I can mount them here, cut the lip off there at the top so you don't see that lip. I just don't think the sound would be very good there. All right, guys, got the dash in place there. Key switch works fine. The forward and reverse switch over here. My tilt bed, my headlights on and off, a big battery gauge here. And I just put this in place just because I have it. I need to create some type of warning light for this right here. So I got the radio wired up. My plan all along was to mount the speakers up here in the front. But since this is just a utility cart, there's not a lot of room to mount anything. So I'll put these two speakers down here and one over there. So I mounted both of the speakers down there. I forgot to film the speakers being mounted or whatever. What I did is on this lip right here, it's like a 1-inch wide lip. On the back side or the high side, I cut that lip off flat and I pushed that flat portion up against where the body goes in there. I mounted both of those speakers down below. I still have not cut those screw heads off. I need to do that as well. Now the speakers don't sound bad, but it's not a thumping stereo like Walking Tall. But for this old utility cart, I think it'll do just fine. So I ended up running some split loom and I run some wire from this battery here underneath the cart in split loom. I came up with it here. I got me a little fuse block in place down here. And I got my radio, my siren, and my air horns just on this fuse block here. I'm leaving the stock fuse block alone just for the lights. So the last thing I need to do is just put the hood on and get the seat on before we bring it out and install some new batteries in there from bigbattery.com. Another thing I need to do is install the wheels and tires and give it an alignment. Now, I was really wanting to make these right here come on by themselves and then these come on separately or, second, kind of like a car. I like to ride around with my park lights on. I think that's just cool. However, right now, I don't think I'm gonna do that in this video. I think later on I might do it in another video. Well, there it is, guys. Got it back together. And we took it last week on spring break to the beach with us. It did okay. So, got a bunch of accessories on there. We got the dash into place. It doesn't look too bad. Got the key into place there. Get the air horn on. We mounted the siren, police siren. That looks pretty good there. What else we do in that video? We did get the lights installed. So the LED lights are installed in both of them. However, they're not to my standard really, because only the headlights are coming on. The park lights are only come on for turn signals and hazards. But there it is. So we also got the top painted in this right here episode. At the beach, the window flew open while we were riding, not while we were pulling. Cracked it, which the windshield was already missing this piece on the other side anyways. But yep, we also got these Noken seat covers on. They're dirty. I've been cutting grass this morning. So there it is. We've got a lot done in this episode here. Also the speakers, I forgot to point those out. They don't look bad down here, okay? They don't interfere with your feet. I was kind of wanting to put them up in here, but I really didn't want to drill any more into the roof. But You know, they look pretty good in there. I just did 2. Probably only gonna run 2 in here to begin with. I might do a little small sub. I'm not exactly sure, but we're not finished. In the next episode, we're gonna start tearing it back down and start addressing some features, and I'll tell you about that in that video. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you watching today's video. Some remnants of that glass. It was windy. My son and I were pond hopping inside the park and outside the park in some neighborhoods. We went to put the windshield up, and it just slammed up and it just broke. Nothing hit us, thank the goodness. Thank the good Lord. Yeah, that's done there. Tail lights is done as well. And we did the big battery Eagle 2s in here. We're probably going to put a different battery in here though. I'm probably going to do the Husky 2 in here. Glove box, dash. You know, all in all, it's a good looking cart. I'm starting to get pleased with it. And I'll say that for a reason. And anyways, I appreciate you guys watching today's video. All the parts that I've used on this right here golf cart will be down in the video description below. Until next time, we'll see y'all later.